It's tricky because there's no cookie cutter way to play this game.
You don't know if you're playing control deck, you don't know if you're just playing spiral.
Yeah.
If you're playing a deck that needs the extra deck, you just, like you said, you made them minus potentially 6 different extra deck cards.
6 different cards.
All double helix, you don't know that.
Yeah.
And they also lost a card out of their hand, they're at 4 cards. You're right in that statement. And as you said, game 1, when you don't know what you're playing, it might be better to keep them and get 2 extra cards turn 1.
Because you don't know what you're going to get into.
2, you already know what you're playing, most likely. Unless your opponent just scoops, because
that could be the deck of the deck.
Yeah. That could be the play, like the be all or end all, or you just keep going.
It's like if you know you're playing dice, you want them to go. Yeah, maybe they can draw into their one of, which is multi-figure, or they're gonna summon Nullsea, go to make the Link Regal play, and then try and make or Almirage, and then try and get bigger than you.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Like you just ask them.
And then you're like, now they can't extend. They set back row. If you have Lightning Storm, you just
like, oh my god, they set 4 back row.
Like if you win a Lightning Storm, you just won the game.
Hey Lounge, Cody speaking. Last video we discussed about the ways to get better as a player. In that video, I made a statement about Extravagance and Ash and interactions of when to use it. I want to make sure when you activate that card, it doesn't just stop one play, it stops a whole line of play. A whole line. It literally, you want to end that turn. Or just completely stunt that board. It is stupid to throw a hand trap at a starter card. Ask the Guru Field Spell. That's what this Extravagance is getting into. Today, I'm going to go into further details as far as why I made that statement and why you should follow it or why you should not necessarily follow it. In Yu-Gi-Oh, there's 2 kind of phrases that we all use called the fake out and the bait out. The fake out is when you activate a card and you give your opponent the impression that you have a lot of resources behind that card. So even if you stop it, it doesn't matter. You're still going to go to main line of play, right? But it's not true. That's the only card you have and you need to resolve. And then there's the bait out, which is you actually do have extenders, you have other lines of plays to go into. So if they do stop that line of play, you can continue playing your plays. So in certain circumstances, you can activate Extravagance, right? And it could be a bait out or a fake out. And it's up to you as a player and your intuition and your understanding of the matchup and the game state of what to do and what's the correct line of play. So game 1, if they activate Extravagance, be mindful because you don't know what you're playing against. You could get gammaed, right? And if you don't have any follow-up behind that Ash, then I wouldn't Ash it. But if you do have follow-up, like other hand traps or other lines of plays, then just Ash it off the rip because you don't want them to draw 2 cards for free. In this current format, any advantage you can get can just snowball out of control. So game 1, when someone activates Extravagance, you could activate Ash immediately because you don't know what they're playing against. But then if you're playing against a Dinosaur matchup, the Infernoid matchup, or even the Spiral matchup, because some of them are playing Go Second Spirals, that activate Extravagance, there'll be a Gamma right behind it. So if you get Gamma, you basically just went super neg and they're gonna go into a Mega and rip a card out your hand. So now you're down 2 cards because you thought that, activating the Ash was smart. So to counter that playstyle, you can allow them to extend as much as possible, eliminating possible cards they can activate to necessarily stop you from answering certain cards. In the Guru matchup, when they activate Extravagance, you can let it rock. Now the pros is that they activate Extravagance, they draw 2 cards, right? You still have your Ash. So when they activate Hidden City and you do Ash it, guess what? They don't get into Guru. So they have to have Guru in hand. If they don't have Guru in hand, all they do is set back row pass.
Set 4? Where the fuck is the city? I held the Ash for the city. Judge?
You said what? They're gonna be 1s, the Subterra trap card, maybe a strike, maybe a warning, maybe a judgment. Like, that's not really scary. Or even the permanents, like that's not crazy. The main line of play that's actually scary is when they establish the Guru on board and they recycle the hand trap and they recycle Guru and they go into more plays. So that's why I said, it's not a big deal if you do not activate Ash to Extravagance. Now, they could have Guru in hand, they could have a Call by the Grave which they draw into off the Extravagance. So in that instance, by not ashing the Extravagance, you just let them go off. You help them get into it. So it goes back to what I said before. Is it a fake out? Is it a bait out? So you as a player have to determine that live in that duel. Other matchups, like let's say, a Spiral matchup, Ash would be pretty good if you can hit the Super Agent. But sometimes they chain block the Super Agent, so Ash won't be that worthwhile. So in a Spiral matchup, you can Ash the Field Spell, or you just Ash the Extravagance, or you can Ash Soul. Those are good cards to hit. In the Fortnite matchup, I would Ash the trap card, Void Feast, because they special summon multiple Infernoids from their deck and they just go off and make this crazy board of negates. That's a good card to hold the Ash for. In the Dinosaur matchup, it's a tricky one. You could Ash the Big Pill, you could Ash the Miscellaneousaurus. I would not Ash over Raptor. You could Ash the diagram, that's at 1. It's a tricky matchup. Like, it stops certain plays, but they have so many extenders, they can keep going. To determine when you want to activate a hand trap, it really just comes down to what cards you have in your hand, what deck you're playing, and what the matchup is. Because sometimes you have to shotgun a hand trap, and sometimes you can just hold it. If you have multiple hand traps in hand, then you can play the conservative game. If you have so many lines of plays you can stop, why shotgun, right? But if you only have one hand trap in hand, then I can understand why someone would just shotgun, because you just want to stop it as soon as possible. Get as much card value as possible, because you're about to go into the grind game. If you Ash the initial Extravagance game 2 or 3, and you know what they're playing against, the benefits is that they're down a card. So they start off with 5 cards in hand, they just burnt a card, they just burnt cards from the extra deck, you know what I'm saying? Because depending on what they're playing, Extravagance can be expensive, right? So now they have 4 cards in hand, now they have to have it. They have to have an extender. They have to have that line of play. They have to have the cards they need. Because if they don't, the turn ends and I'm gonna kill them the next turn. So that's the benefit. You force out what they have. So you heard what I had to say. You got my opinion. So I'm interested to see if you agree with me now or you still disagree, or if you're on the fence. Let us know, drop a comment, like and subscribe. Thanks guys.